Hey Minecrafters, Nick here with another Minecraft video. Today what I want to do is make a tutorial for this particular potion brewer here, which I call the continuous auto brewing system. I've been thinking a lot about potion brewers recently, mainly because in version 1.12 they fixed potion brewers so that you could make them automatic again. And I've spent a little bit of time working on this thing here, which I call the Shulker brewer. This is version 3. It's got a little bit of extra stuff to let me know when ingredients are out or which one of these brewing bays is in use. It's a nice brewer that lets you fill up a box or a shulker box or a chest of potions really quickly. And it's a nice simple brewer. I was really happy with the way that one came out, and I've made some extra modifications here. You guys can try it if you're interested or if you've seen the last video. But today I want to concentrate on this brewer here. And the main difference between this brewer and the Shulker brewer is that the Shulker brewer was designed just to brew really one potion really quickly. And I did that for instant damage, so I could chuck instant damage 2 potions at Prismarine Guardians and get my Prismarine farm going that way. Turns it into an XP farm, which is really great. But if you're not interested in making one kind of potion really quickly, if you're interested in a brewer that is super easy to use, lets you brew any kind of potion that you want without much in the way of messing around, I think that this one is a really, really good brewer. It's actually one of my favorite brewers. It's loosely based on something that Etho came up with a long time ago, and the nifty trick about this one is that it uses a trailing nether wart design, and what that means is that there's no timer involved. And that's a good thing, because timers in Minecraft use hoppers pointing into each other, and they can often duplicate items. I'm not sure that that's the case anymore, though. I think they've made some strides in that area where they've fixed the hopper duplication issue. But the important thing is that this is just a brewer that you can walk up to, you can throw in the ingredients that you want into this dropper here, and it just automatically starts and makes the potions that you want. So if you know you want 9 potions, you put in 3 ingredients. If you want an entire box of potions, what do you put in, 9 or 18 ingredients or something to get a double chest out? And it's, again, I think this is a really nice potion brewer. It's super easy to make, and let's get started. Let's just hop outside here. I'm going to set the time to 0 so we have some daylight. I'm just going to run way over here and get a nice new area. So that we can do this here. All right, the way we want to start off is we want to lay down 7 blocks, just like that, 7 blocks in a row, and we're going to make that 4 deep. Boop, boop. So that's the beginning of our little potion brewer. And to start this off, we're going to need some repeaters, and you're supposed to lay down an entire line of repeaters here. Leave this first one on the default. Put that on 2, put this on 3, and put all the rest of them on 4. And once you've done that, you lay down another set of blocks just behind them, and another set of repeaters behind that. And on this back line of repeaters, we want to set the last one to 4 ticks, the next one to 3, the next one to 2, and just leave all the rest as they are. And what that does is that it throttles the way that the ingredients come out, because they can show up in the wrong order if you don't do something like this. So that's what we're doing there. We're going to put down just 1 repeater here and a redstone dust there. And then we're going to go back to the front of the machine, and we're going to dig down 2 deep in the middle 5 locations. And what we're going to do is we're going to put down some regular blocks. These are my redstone blocks, and I use them here just so I know where the redstone is. That way, if you're in a single player world and you're digging from below, you're not going to accidentally chip out some of the redstone that you need, and that'd be horrible, because depending on how things are built, it could be really hard to rebuild things. So we're going to put down 5 sticky pistons facing upwards, and on top of those we're just going to put down our regular blocks. And now we're going to switch over to our fancy blocks, and these are blocks that are visible from the front. That's why I call them fancy. And I like to use quartz. We're just going to use quartz here. The next thing we want to do is we want to grab a switch, and we're going to put down a switch in front of all of these locations. And you can see if you flip each one of the switches, it just throws up. Well, I've got a problem with my mouse right now, guys. It double clicks when it shouldn't do. So I'm going to set those all down so that all of these blocks are raised at the moment. And then what we want to do is we want to have droppers, which we will use to contain all of our ingredients, and put down 7 droppers along those, just like that. And then we're going to need some indicator lights. Now the indicator lights, these lights here will just indicate which one of the modifiers are being used. And let me think. The next thing we want to do is we want to put just a row of bricks right behind each one of those droppers, and another row of bricks on top of those repeaters. And then in here we can put a comparator for each one of the ingredients. And this will let us know if any of the ingredients run out. And we're going to need another line of bricks just here. Make that all match up down below. Once we've got that, we want to put a line of redstone across all of these guys here, and then redstone torches above each one of these. And you can see that when these redstone torches are on, that means that there's no ingredients and it lights up this line. That's important. And then we just put a layer of bricks right on top of each one of those redstone torches, another layer of bricks on top of the comparators here. And then the next thing we want to do is get a half slab, which we should have right here. And we're going to put half slabs right here. Boop. And let me think. What we should do is come back up to the front, put down 2 of your fancy blocks, break out 3 spaces there and another 2 fancy blocks. Then we can take our, just a chest, because this is where our potions will come out. There's the double click of the mouse again. And we want to switch over to our, to some hoppers here. We want to have a hopper facing into that chest and a hopper facing down into that hopper. And that is where we are going to put our brewing stand. Now the next thing we should do is we should have a hopper facing into the side on that side and a hopper facing into the side on that one. And then on top we want to have 1 hopper and 2 hoppers. So those 2 hoppers go straight down, these hoppers face in, and these come out. Now, let me see. The next thing we should do is we come up to the top here, and into this top hopper, we're just going to face a line of hoppers which are right above these droppers, and that's what's going to carry our ingredients along all the way to the end there. And at this point we can put some more indicator lamps. These indicator lamps will tell us when we are out of ingredients. And we want 1 more indicator lamp right there to let us know when the machine is running. And to continue on, let me think. What should we do here? We should get another chest. I should put a chest on top of here and a chest on top of here. And we're going to come out and bring those forward by 1 so they're sticking out. We can put a fancy block there. We can cover this up with fancy blocks. We can cover that and that. Oh, another thing we should do here is we should put an upside down stair right there. And, oh, not that way, an upside down stair right there. And that way we can still open up our chest and it looks like a full block, so it's nice. Okay, we've got all of this here. We want to have these chests with just a stair on top of them, so again we can open them, and we're going to put some fancy blocks all the way across the front of the machine here. And that's how the front of the machine looks. We're almost there. Let's drop a couple more of the fancy blocks there just to finish that off. Now here we need to put repeaters going into the blocks in the front so that our indicator lights will indicate that there's nothing in the droppers, and that's why they're all lit up right now. That will show you that all of these droppers are empty. Here I like to put a chest there and a chest here, and I'm going to put a half slab underneath each one of these, and that's going to allow me to use an item frame just so I can remember what's in each one of these hoppers here. Get rid of that. That's the double click again. Okay, and I'm also going to put a quartz slab on the top half of that, which that sort of covers up the brewer and lets you see on the inside. Now here I'm just going to fill up this guy with some blaze powder, and that's eventually going to start making its way into the brewing machine here. I want to put another couple of fancy blocks here, and eventually we're going to want to do some things to do with water. So I'll just put 1 more indicator lamp right there, and boop, boop, boop. we'll do that for the moment. There we go. So that'll be the front of the machine. Now to continue on with actually making the brewer work, we got to come to the back here. And the first thing we want to do is put a fancy block right behind the brewing stand. And I put a fancy block there because you can kind of see it from the front, and you may as well have it all look nice. On top of that, we want to put a comparator, and we want to have in here, let me see, we want to have a regular block there, a regular block there. We're going to put a redstone torch on it, and we're going to have a couple of redstone dust there. This I'm going to keep back here. Life is difficult. I just put these back. Okay. I was trying to keep 22 items there because that's something that we need to do in just a second. On top of that block, I want to have a torch and another block and another torch. And the reason why we're doing that is just so that we can have a little line here that will let us know when the machine is actually running. And we'll put a repeater on the front, and then a couple of redstone dust back here. And that will light up this light to let us know when the machine is running. Now, to handle the way that the water bottles and the brewed potions go in and out of the machine, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here, knock out these 6 blocks, just put in our fancy blocks here. Not our fancy blocks, I'm sorry, just the regular blocks for putting redstone on. And I'm going to put a signal extender in right there. And the reason why we're using a signal extender is because when this hopper is filled with 22 items, 19 in the second slot and 1 in all the rest of them, it'll give a quick flash when it's empty, and we need to extend that flash. So that's the reason why we have this signal extender here. The next thing we want to do is break out these 2 blocks. We'll put one here with some redstone on top of them. And here we need to break out a bunch of blocks. Right here, I'm going to put a nice little flat area with six blocks on them. And this is going to be for a trailing edge detector. And that will let us know when it's time to empty our potions out. And a trailing edge detector is pretty easy to build. You just put 2 repeaters like that, one this way and a redstone dust here. Set that repeater to 4 ticks, and right here I'll put in 1 more block, and I'm going to replace all of these blocks at the bottom with some more redstone blocks. And then here I want to put a block, and a block. So we put a redstone dust there, a comparator going in, a comparator coming out. It doesn't have to be on negative mode. It shouldn't have been. That's just the my mouse double clicking when it's not supposed to. And from here we want to have a redstone torch there, a redstone torch here, and a redstone repeater facing into the hopper directly underneath our brewing stand. Then right behind there we can put another block. This block we're going to place a comparator on to let us know when we're out of water bottles. And to do this, we're going to put a half slab from there, 1, 2, 3, up to here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We'll do that. Now here, what we want to build is an AND gate. And an AND gate will just let you know if you have this signal and that signal going at the same time. The way that works is that this torch here would turn on if both of these are off. And we need an override to that because we want to override the functioning of the machine when there's no water. And here we're going to put a couple of blocks. You can break that one if you want to. You don't have to have it there. And we want to put a redstone torch there. We want to connect all of this with redstone dust, and that will connect there. And that's a problem for us, so we're going to put another block on top of it, which will break that wire and stop these 2 pieces from sort of interfering with each other. On top of that, we want to do one of those, and we're going to carry this forward right to here, put another block on that, and then we're going to put redstone dust all the way across. So what that redstone does is it tells you we don't have any water. The machine's not running, we don't have any water, and there's no ingredients in the machine at all. So to finish this thing off, all we need to do is just continue on a little bit of redstone to let us know when the ingredients are available and ready to be used. And to do this, I'll just put a couple of blocks here, break that one out. 1, 2, 3. I wish my mouse wasn't quite so broken. I'll have to get a new one. Anyway, we'll do that, and a redstone torch right there, and then make sure that there's redstone dust on top of that block. So this line here tells you you've got ingredients. That goes into one side of the and. This line here tells you that the machine's ready to continue with the next brew. That's the other side of the and on the back here we just have a little override that says there's no water. So at the moment we're pretty much ready to go. What we need to do is in this very last hopper over here, we're going to place all of our redstone, because, or not redstone, our nether wart. This is a trailing nether wart design, which I think is really, it's a great little technique because it means you don't have to have a timer. And we're just going to fill up each one of these droppers with the ingredients that we know that we need. These ones are all modifiers for your potions. There's 5 of them in total, and what they do is the redstone will give you more time, the glowstone will give you more power, the gunpowder makes it a propellable or a splashable potion, the fermented spider eye will corrupt it, and the dragon's breath will of course turn it into a lingering potion. I'm just going to swap all these things out here just so I can mark them up properly, and just so we can see. So I'll put one of those there, and then that one, blip, 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 blip. Okay, so now we have the front of our machine all nicely set up, and I'm going to turn off all of these switches now because we don't need them on, and that sets us up nicely to continue. So what we want to do, we've got our stuff in there, we have no water bottles, so what we got to do is fill up our chest with water here, and I'm just going to fill up a little bit of water. I'm not going to fill up the whole thing, and it should drain to about right here, and that means we're just about ready to go. The last thing we need to do is look into the brewing stand and just add 1 nether wart the very first time. That's the only time you should ever really need to do that. So that's it. That's the continuous auto brewing system, and right now it's ready to go. If we looked into this chest here, we could take some rabbit's feed. These are ingredients for various potions that you might want to use. Let's see, we've got all kinds of potions here. I probably should have a carrot in there as well. But let's say that you wanted to do some water breathing, and you want it to be an extended potion of water breathing, which will make it last for a little bit more time. What you can do is you can just walk up here and you say to yourself, well, I want to have 9 potions, so I'll take 3 of these, and you put it in the dropper. That should turn on this light here. It'll flash once, and that tells you that it's starting to brew the potions. It's going to have 2 more puffer fish in there, and it's just brewing away. So while that's brewing away, what I think I'll do is show you a nice way to make a water filling station and allow you to contain sort of more water bottles than just 1 chest, because it's a pain having to fill that up all the time. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to get a dropper. I'm going to need some redstone, a repeater, a comparator. I'm going to need the redstone torch. I'm going to need, well, a couple of things, really. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put another hopper facing into that chest there, and then we'll grab a chest, put another couple of chests on top of it like that, another hopper facing in there, and then right here we're going to have 2 more chests and a hopper facing in. Now at this point, what we want to do is we probably want to break out some of these blocks for the moment. I'll just break these out. I want to go too deep here. Oh, that's the wrong spot. Let's put that back. Yeah, we don't want to break those ones. We want to break these ones. So 1 too deep, and we'll come out to about here. So at this point, we want to get 7 droppers starting from the bottom here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th one we want to face into that hopper there. And just to make this work, I'm going to clear out a little bit of space here. We can fill all this back in a little bit later. And here we want to have just a regular block. So to do this part, we want to put a block here, And we're going to need to do it like this. We'll put a comparator there, which will check the contents of that dropper and transfer it into this block, where we'll reverse it, put a redstone dust there, a repeater here, just on one tick, and then another redstone torch directly underneath the dropper there. And then if you want to, you can fill this back in. You don't really have to. It's all up to you how you want to do this. You know, you can modify this in quite a few ways. Now here what I'll do is I'll put a drop or a hopper facing in, a hopper facing in, and another hopper facing in there. And then I'm going to take just some ice. It doesn't have to be packed ice, but I use packed ice because it doesn't melt. And I'm going to put that right there. Then in the front, I'm going to dig down a couple of times, and I will put a switch on the underside of this block and turn it on. And then we just fill this back in. And the reason why we're doing that is so that when we have, I don't seem to have one loaded, when I have an iron gate or an iron trapdoor here, when you put that down, it flips vertically. Here, I'm going to fill those in, fill, and leave that one as it is. Now, at this point, we're going to need our fancy blocks again. You may as well put a couple of fancy blocks behind here, just like that, and then cover that up. Now here, we'll put in a water bucket, a bucket full of water, and this just makes a little potion or a water filling station, you know, nice and easy. Of course, I forgot to do a couple of things back here. We've got to finish off our item elevator. And to do that, we're going to need, where are they? We're going to need a torch, and a brick, and a torch, and a brick, a torch, and a brick. You have to keep on following this pattern all the way up. A torch, and another brick on top of that. My mouse. A torch, another brick on top of that, and then here, here, and here, you just want to put a redstone torch on. And once again, I'm going to fill this in because I don't want that hole there. So what we have now, as you can see, we haven't filled up our water here, and if we were to just grab some bottles, we could go game mode survival. If we go into survival, the way that this works is you just walk up here, stand in front of it, and just start chucking water bottles in. And you can go through, well, it's 54 bottles of water per chest that you have, and so you can put in a couple of stacks just like that. And you might even want to put another one there. That doesn't get in the way if you're doing it. Go back to creative mode, and as you can see, this thing should be filling up, you know, not terribly quickly, but it fills up from water there, and that just makes a nice, easy way to fill up your water bottles. And as you can see, the machine is no longer running. We've got our first set of water-breathing potions out here, and again, you know, you can just choose whatever you want. If we want to have let's say 9 potions of splash potion of health, let's do that. So you set up your ingredients here. These are the modifiers. You know, again, that gives you more time. It gives you level 2, gives you splash. This one corrupts it, and this one will give you a lingering potion. And just to show you that lingering potions work, let's turn these into lingering potions of health 2. And to do that, we just have to grab our glistering melon here. We'll put, well, yeah, let's just put 3 in there for the moment. As soon as you do that, this light will come on telling you that it's brewing. You can see here's the first ingredient, and we'll just sit back and watch the machine run. But that's it. That's the end of the redstone. You've got a fully working machine here with a water filling station that's nice and easy to use. I think this is really a great little potion maker. The redstone, all in all, it looks a little complicated when you first look at it, but as you can see when you're building it, it's pretty easy to think through. And I'm really proud of this one. I think this is a great little potion maker that pretty much everybody should have in the world. You know, if you're interested in making potions occasionally, or you want to be able to brew, you know, a box of one kind of potion or just 3 of a potion, you know, if you want, you know, if you want some strength potions or some fire protection potions, you just drop them into the first dropper, and it'll go. It'll make all the potions for you. You know, it's not the fastest brewer in the world because it's only using one brewing stand, unlike the Shulker brewer, which used 5 brewing stands, so it made potions really quickly. This is just a nice, easy brewer that lets you, you know, reconfigure your potions and get whatever you want pretty quickly and pretty easily. And I just want to wait for a little bit here. Here we go. There's the Dragon's Breath going in. So you can see instant health 2. There are now lingering potions of instant health 2. And you can check that out just by taking one and chucking it around. There you go. Now we're lingering in our health. So that's it, guys. That's the continuous auto brewing system, or CABS 2.0. I think it's a great little brewer. I hope that you had fun making it. I hope it works for you in your world. And if you do like it, leave a like on the video, leave me a comment letting me know what you think. You know, I've been doing a couple of Minecraft tutorials now, and I don't get much in the way of feedback. And it would be really nice to know that that people like the videos, or that at least they find them useful. So that's the continuous auto brewing system 2.0. This is Nick signing off, and I guess we'll see you again in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.